Hey folks, a slightly more tired than usual James Ryan tonight. Had a midweek gig last night and they can knock you about the place. But anyway, I've come up with a few cool little licks just before I thought I would share in a lesson, and a few good reasons or excuses to work on that hybrid picking or use of the thumb and fingers in the right hand, because there's some stuff that you can do with these guys that this little fella just can't do. So let's get into it. Here's a cool little exercise, more to do with the right hand than anything. It's another 3-string pattern, and I'm going to take this little weird tritone octave pattern to demonstrate it. All you do is the first time you just play the 3 in a row. The second time you skip from the, well in this case the 5th string to the 3rd, and then play the middle string. It's just a kind of difficult thing in the right hand, and then if we move that up chromatically, it sounds pretty cool. Hard to do though. And this is where our little friends, hello, the little digits come into it. Even though it still takes a fair bit of practice, and I can't do it that well yet, it would in fact work better to go with your pick and then 2nd and 3rd fingers. I can still play that better with the pick. Need some work though. And then the other option is, if you're a picker, finger picker I should say, is to ditch the pick altogether and use your thumb and the 2 fingers, and then you can really get it working. Now if we apply that same grouping of notes down to a little major and minor 7 kind of sound, it's pretty cool. I'm down now on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd strings. Same picking pattern, but the shape is going to go like this. 7th fret on the 3rd string, then the 8th on the 2nd, and 10th on the 1st string. So just like that, and that's just 3 in a row down. And then we go to basically like an E minor shape, but then we skip this order, we go so. Just sounds pretty cool, and even if you move that chromatically, for someone who ain't a great picker like myself, that's hard to do. And again, if you got the fingers in on the action, do that as a hybrid idea. Wow, that was pretty good. It works a lot better and feels a lot better, and obviously you can get the speed thing happening. I mean, you couldn't really sweep that, you couldn't really do it any other way. The hybrid thing works really well. Here's another cool little variation that you can do with that, using the classic 9th, or should I say add 9 chords, which is a power chord, plus the 9 like that. Great sound. Sounds really cool, arpeggiated, and you can kind of move them anywhere and they sound cool. But again, that 3-string kind of vibe is hard to pick. Hard to keep it going, keep the momentum going. So for example, if we did a pattern here where we're doing that same skipping that I was doing before, where the first one would go, and then the next one, the 7th fret would go, and I'll go to the 8th fret, ascend, 10th fret, descend, and then put the 12th. Easy enough to do at that speed a few times. If you try and speed that up and pick it and keep it going, pretty tricky to do. Now if we got rid of the pick and just use the thumb and fingers, just got to get the pattern right. Much easier, and I could keep doing that all night long. Then if we introduce the hybrid, so we're picking and using the 2 fingers, Again, much easier than doing it just with the pick.